When the four intruders reached the base of the tree that they had hidden their device in, all except one of them dropped down onto a knee and pointed their crossbow-like weapons outward, watching all about themselves. The fourth climbed into the tree. No, she decided. Safer is always better. Her muscles tensed as she filled herself with magic and prepared to cast Drake's gift. I am the knife in the shadows. The first warning Major Wallace Buck Buchanan had that something was wrong was when a sheet of flame swept over Saunders, as if he'd been doused in gasoline and lit with a match. The flash flared out Buck's quad-eye ground panoramic night vision goggles, GPNVG, and the optics struggled to compensate. The heat was staggering, and Buck fell away, instinctively putting distance between himself and the burning man. Saunders screamed and started spinning in place like a top, whipping the flames higher in the process. Still half blind, Buck activated his M-Biter ANPRC-148 multiband inter-intra-team radio.
Contact! Wait out!
He screamed into the microphone hanging near his lips. They had no comms with anyone but the covering team back at the LZ. He could warn them that he was under attack and let them know he was in the shit, but they were too far away to help. His optics adjusted to the flare-out. Ignoring the screams of Saunders, Buck scanned the jungle around them, aiming down the combat sights of his silenced M4 carbine, seeking the source of the enemy fire. Had they been hit with a flamethrower? A Molotov cocktail? Only feet away, Bolin tackled the burning Saunders and was now frantically trying to beat out the flames. Someone else opened up with an M4, firing short bursts of suppressed fire. The smell of cordite mixed with the stench of burning flesh.
Who's firing?
He yelled.
Call the target!
Nothing. MacDonald, one of the Canucks, answered, pausing to look over the smoking barrel of his M4.
I got nothing. Then stop shooting, jackass!
They needed to move, to get out of there immediately. Somehow Bolin had managed to put out the flames on Saunders and was now bent over the thrashing man trying to help him. Saunders had stopped screaming, but the wet noises coming from his throat were far from reassuring. Buck had seen enough men burn to death in Afghanistan and Iraq to know that Saunders wasn't going to make it. There was no need to even check. As if on cue, a long, wet gurgle came from Saunders' throat, and then the man lay still. Bolin looked up at Buck.
I think he's... We're out of here,
Buck said.
We're in a kill zone.
He keyed the mic on his M-Biter again.
Noof, we're Oscar Mike to your location. Coming in hot, danger close.
There was a single chirp in his earpiece as Captain Alex Benoit, the covering team leader, acknowledged. Buck pointed at the dead man.
Pick him up. We need to...
Bolin flew backwards into the air, as if he had been sent flying from a blast. But there had been no explosion. Nothing. The man vanished into the thick foliage. Buck stared dumbfounded, his mouth open. MacDonald jumped to his feet and spun about.
What the hell?
Buck grabbed his arm and yanked him along, dragging him away from the river, back in the direction they had come.
We're out of here,
he yelled, firing his M4 blindly behind them, not giving a damn that he was now doing what he had just admonished MacDonald for.
But we've got men down,
said MacDonald.
Dead. We exfil now,
Buck said as he pulled a smoke grenade from his load-bearing vest, popped it and then tossed it behind them. In moments, dense clouds of smoke filled the air. Buck began to run, fear and adrenaline giving him speed. In moments, he was far ahead of MacDonald, leaving the other man to keep up as well as he could. This was bad, real bad. 2 men down. Saunders was dead for sure, and Bolin was... Well, maybe Bolin was dead. He didn't know, but he sure as hell wasn't hanging around to find out. That had been a hard contact. But who had hit them? His blood pounded in his ears, and his breathing became strained, but he pushed himself on. By now, he must be out of the kill zone. If he kept moving, he should be able to stay ahead of any pursuer. He was going to survive, thank God. This wasn't his fault, but he knew Colonel McKnight would hold him responsible even though intelligence was at fault, not him. Someone should have seen this coming. When he got back, he was going to punch the task force devil intelligence officer in the throat. He owed it to his men. He'd...